and it's strange because I didn't actually realize I was a child carer until I was in my 30s. I just thought that that was what everybody did, that you came home from school and you put the dinner on, you put the washing on, and, you looked after your mum. I just thought that that was part of day to day. And, it's strange. I never regretted those times. It was very much hands-on, and I have three siblings as well. So I've got a twin brother, and then my younger brother and sister are twins as well. So it was like looking after them, looking after my mum, looking after myself. But it was just, I just had my routine. I learned to cook quite early on. And as somebody said, that was probably my intro to nutrition at a young age. I was making the family dinners. And I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't feel that I was missing out. So even though, my friends would be going off and playing and doing their hobbies and different things, I was coming in and I was, looking after the household. And I just thought that that's part and parcel of what you do. And it wasn't really until I met my husband when I was 21 and I asked him and his family who's sick, and he's like, no one's sick. What do you mean? And I was like, oh, because so many relatives of mine are sick, with cancer, autoimmune conditions, lupus, stroke, all sorts of heart disease. So I just thought it was a normal thing that everybody's family just had a chronic illness in it, and it was just something that you dealt with and you learned to get on. And my mum was very strong. So even on her days when she was probably in the most pain and really sick, she still had this inner strength that came out. Like, it was incredible. And, with the arthritis, it was really bad. And she should have really been in a wheelchair. And, she just defied all the odds because she just had that strength to actually say, do you know what, I'm going to push through this. And she did. I think that's where, my resilience started with. People often say to me, oh, you've got great resilience. And when I look back now, I know that that's from there, because that was just my default position. I didn't even realize it. I was just getting on with it, but getting on in a way that I was learning and developing these skills. It wasn't, that it was holding me back in any way. If anything, as I say, it was teaching me life skills. It was teaching me how to lead. It was teaching me, I don't have children now, and I often put it down because I feel like I raised a family when I was younger. So, and I've done it in different ways now as well. But yeah, so being a leader then in my retail career, then again, there would have been from looking after my younger brothers and sisters.